It's like we're in the war healing up old wounds. Tried everything to forget it, but it might not work. All it takes is one radical to make an outburst. Right back on it, reminding us all over again how you try to secede and try to fight us all off. Spend a lot of time trying to readmit all the Confederate states with the 10% vote count. Well, looks like we're gonna lament, but we're coming to a compromise. Don't suppose a loyalty ought to amend the way that the South just left to own slaves just when we made it need the most. Oh, he vetoed the Wade Davis bill. No 50% vote will take place. Lincoln's last suggests he won't rest till he saves the country reunited and rides off into the sunset.
Lincoln, get ya while at Ford's Theater. U.S. freaks out. Then I get put in charge of the country. I try to play along, but it's easier to criticize my bads and goods. And I hate to be the bad guy. I just hate to be the bad guy. And I hate to be the bad guy.
And to think, I used to think Johnson was the shiz, man. To think one time he vetoed all that defied him, man. Think you can just say you're great and people will believe it, only to have Congress overrule everything you veto. Finish your term so we can continue. Nitwit, thought you tried to veto and forget it. You left the blacks in shambles, you denied them rights and everything. Freeman's Baru is denied and you pardon all the rich people. Maybe fail, but the bill will eventually settle. And don't think cause you have the power to lead this nation that you would get re-elected without a struggle. You're wrong and that stuff is cocky. And the same way you try to abuse the newly made freedmen. Have you any idea the stuff they gone through? Doesn't matter, you won't be here for much longer. Our lives are garbage and we're about to impeach you. Poof, there you go.
I leave the presidency cause it was my last time. You impeached me. Oh, I tried to fix the nation. You can't see my truth, but it was completely justified. But I apologize. I'm sorry I was the bad guy. Didn't mean to be the bad guy.
We tried against Johnson in a 3-month trial. Like 7 moderate Republicans shot the vote. Finally he's out of the way. Enter President Grant. Feel like he can finally do something, and now it's a ratification of the 15th Amendment. Blacks have the secure right to vote and equality in public. See, now we have a rivalry. The scallywags and the carpetbaggers in North and South. But we don't need any empathy. We don't need an apology or a friendship or sympathy. It's freedom we seek. So we expand rights to more people and let them reach their full potential. They peak. Also help with internal improvements within, but the South views the Republicans as a waste. The Republicans take money from businesses, and this is how corruption begins. However, due to all the scandals that result from the end, the credit mobilizer affair created an investigation. Political manipulators were people like James Bland. Perfect time to fix all the problems that the economy we're in. Nope, it's hopeless. The nation is the denial that we are in. When they discover about boss tweed, then the hope is restored and put down and all over again. Back to the credit problems now. 1873, there's another panic. Yeah, cause people speculated too much on railroad and industry. But in the nation, Grant decides to hold back on more greenbacks after the panic is demolished. The KKK want the 14th abolished. White supremacy rings everywhere. The group creates a lot of white and colored tension, but the 15th does not get any mention. There's little time before troops lead the ex-Confederate South. To succeed, Grant Republicans choose Amanda Hayes as his route versus the Democratic S.J. Tilden, famous for the demise of the Tweed Ring, coming back for the presidency with standard voting. Tilden wins the popularity, but Hayes takes the electorate with the ultimate victory. The southern states were short of 1 vote for Tilden for presidency because of the problems they had with voting in the South. They had to create a different vote, which Hayes got them. Democrats threatened to filibuster to send the vote elsewhere. When that failed, Republicans triumphed. Compromise of 1877 led to Hayes being president on several conditions agreed, like ending federal support for Republicans in the South and support building a southern transcontinental railroad. After inauguration, Hayes fulfilled this promise and withdrew the last of the troops. Although he led the Republicans, but he did not create any peace, ignoring anti-prejudice laws and not passing any of them for a better country to live in. Some argue Reconstruction was a fail, but at least they tried for a better future. They had to do whatever they could, from Lincoln all the way to Hayes. They had to attempt to fix the country after it was in a revolution, and they needed to solve it in some other way. Shout out to APUSH.